his career was really just beginning, and I was so proud to see his success and, watch him grow professionally.
This gentleman was born to play Tony Stark, and the way he looks is exactly the way I pictured him. We are so lucky to have Robert Downey Jr. playing this role. I was born under a lucky star.
He just simply said, Ruffalo, let's go, we got this, in true Iron Man fashion.
Oh, Robert Downey Jr. is just, he breathed life into this kind of superhero narrative for so many people across the world.
Hey guys, and welcome to the Celebrity Expert, your #1 source for all things TV shows and celebrities. And in today's video, we're going to look at celebrities talking about our favorite Robert Downey Jr.
So what was it like meeting Robert Downey Jr. for the first time?
So I was in Atlanta for my first screen test. They told us 25 minutes before that Robert was going to come along and do the audition. Literally on cue, a helicopter flew down and Robert got out. And came for his audition.
Fans of Marvel Cinematic Universe have a wealth of films to enjoy. But on top of that, there are the antics of the actor's off-screen bond which keeps him occupied. Tom Holland revealed a hilarious unknown twist in his relationship with Robert Downey Jr. In movies, they play Spider-Man and Iron Man respectively, but off-screen it seems their relationship got off to a problematic start.
And I was like,
Now, did you? Yeah, I was going to say.
One day! But yeah, so I go into this room to do the audition and I see Robert Downey Jr. and I'm starting to panic, right? I'm like, oh my God, it's Robert Downey Jr. And I'm looking at him in the face, sort of going, there's something different about you in person. Do they do something to your face on camera? You don't look the same. And then Robert then walked in. And I realized I've been talking to his stunt double the whole time. So I got my nervous, jittery stuff out of the way with Glenn and then met Robert afterwards.
Oh my God.
Before we jump into the next video, here's a quick shout out to Cover It Up for sending us these amazing phone cases. If you are a Marvel fan or a pop culture fan, you can definitely check out their website and buy some amazing phone cases. Coming to the good news, drum rolls! They are currently offering a flat 50% off on all of their products, and along with that, you guys get a special coupon code to avail an additional 20% off. Use the coupon code filmartsy20 now to avail an additional off on all of your purchases. Alright, getting back to the video. Stan Lee and Robert Downey Jr. were friends for years. It's as if Stan Lee and his co-creators dreamed up Tony Stark in the pages of Marvel Comics and he was birthed into the real life. Whatever the future holds for Iron Man, Marvel has made a lasting mark in the history of superheroes and motion pictures that will never be forgotten.
Remember me?
Hey, how's it going, Hef?
This gentleman was born to play Tony Stark, and the way he looks is exactly the way I pictured him. We are so lucky to have Robert Downey Jr. playing this role. I was born under a lucky star, I gotta tell you. And to be in a scene with him, brief as it was, and I'll talk to them about that later, it was a joy, really a joy.
Well, we got to hang out a little bit before we started shooting, and I picked your brain quite a bit. It helped a lot going into rehearsals and all that, and we it's just such a great character and story you created, and I'm just eternally grateful.
I'm grateful that you're playing it, and I want to tell you that I'm glad I was able to give you the various acting tips that I did.
You did.
And if you just kind of remember what I told you, just read the lines, don't trip over the furniture, and at any time just say to yourself, Howard Stan save us, and you'll be up. And I'm no further than your phone. You run into problems, I'm always there.
Did you know Sarah Jessica Parker and RDJ dated for 8 long years? Sarah Jessica Parker and RDJ first met on the set of 1984 drama Firstborn, where they were both 18 years old. They moved in together just 8 weeks after they began dating, and Sarah Jessica Parker has called this relationship a really important, adventurous 8 years of her life.
It was a really adventurous, important 8 years of my life. We were together for a long time, and he's the first person that I lived with, and his career was really just beginning, and I was so proud to see his success and, watch him grow professionally.
If there's one thing we all can learn from Robert Downey Jr. in Susan's love story, is that every successful relationship requires mutual respect and admiration. The union cannot be lopsided, rather it must be a perfect balance in which both the parties feel empowered and fulfilled to be the best versions of themselves, both individually and together.
If anything, he's such a generous actor, so whether it is with Harry or Carmel or Michael Sheen or one of these, you know, stuffies or green guys or whatever, he is always trying to figure out what's the best version of the scene, what's the best thing for the movie. And a lot of times he's giving stuff away to people. And I'm like, no, stop, don't do that. Like, but, you know, we try and do things like cut off work talk, but it just doesn't work.
No,
you know, it's just like you try. But like he said, conflict resolution, you kind of cut through stuff faster because there isn't that division between like talent and production.
Yeah.
You know, you kind of commingle.
Chris Evans and RDJ might seem like an unlikely pair, but it turns out they're good friends. They might even be BFFs in real life. I think it's safe to assume that these two A-list actors are good friends, not just because of the memes or the kind things they talk about each other in their interviews, but also because Robert Downey Jr. actually gifted Chris Evans a custom car.
Important to you? Sure. I mean, I guess it's kind of an obvious, it's real low-hanging fruit to say Downey. I mean, he's been he's such a wonderful guy and so talented and so experienced and so supportive, and he's always been in my corner. I've always felt supported by him, and he really brings everybody in.
Not only did 5 of 6 original Avengers got matching tattoos, but when it comes to fan events, they've got each other's backs as well. That's especially true when it comes to Thor actor Chris Hemsworth reaching out to phone his friend Robert Downey Jr. at an Avengers Endgame fan event in London.
Hey man, it's just me and you chatting. I just wanted to say hello and see how you're doing. Where are you?
I'm just hanging out in my living room, and you happen to catch me at a nice time.
Oh, good. What are you wearing?
It sounds very interesting. Are you with some of our lovely British fans?
I am. We're at a fan event.
Benedict Cumberbatch and Robert Downey Jr. have a friendly connection off the screen. Their meetings are a big proof where they've spoken about one another on multiple occasions. Benedict Cumberbatch has actually spent too much time with Robert Downey Jr.
There's so much again talk about Sherlock meeting Sherlock. Did you guys ever discuss that?
No. We had done before at a Producers Guild Awards. We were on a sofa together before presenting awards, and we had the conversation then, yeah.
Right.
I don't want to say much about the next video, in which you will see two heavenly handsome individuals completely stealing the show. They are great friends off the screen and they love embarrassing each other on the social media.
Impossible to hate, although he's a villain, he's such an adorable and attractive villain. Do you find any similarities between you and Loki?
Yes, we do. I don't know. People have asked me that question before. Thank you very much for asking it. The thing is, I suppose, the thing I try to do is he's the god of mischief, and so he's trying to, even if he's doing malevolent or malign, malicious things, he's having the most fun he can have. He's having the best time. And so I try to enjoy it as much as I can. And maybe that's a bit where he and I meet in the middle. I have no brothers. I've never tried to kill them. And I don't wear leather and metal in my own house. Or a crown of thorns.
Though Catherine Langford's role as grown-up Morgan Stark couldn't make the cut to the final movie, but she is extremely grateful for the experience she had working with the Marvel Studios, and she is all praises about her co-star come real-life father, Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, Robert Downey Jr. is just, I mean, you know, like he breathed life into this kind of superhero narrative for so many people across the world, and Avengers, it's the biggest franchise in the world, so to be a part of that is an incredible experience, but then to, you know, be able to experience that with someone like Robert Downey Jr. is amazing, and he was so graceful and wonderful and a phenomenal actor and also a lovely, lovely person.
I was scared. I didn't know what I could add to what I'd already thought had been done so well before me.
Robert Downey Jr. and Mark Ruffalo developed a friendship while working for the movie Zodiac. Robert Downey Jr. played a huge part in bringing Mark into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Mark was introduced as Bruce Banner, aka the Hulk, in 2012's The Avengers. But before that, there was a time when Mark was hesitant to take the part until Downey stepped in and convinced him in true Iron Man fashion.
And then I got a call from Downey, who it must have made it to him that I was,
waffling.
Yeah, hemming and hawing, and he just simply said, "Ruffalo, let's go. We got this." in true Iron Man fashion.
Alright guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you all really enjoyed today's video. If you did, do like, share and comment on this video, and do not forget to subscribe to the Celebrity Expert. Bye guys!
Talking?
I'm about to.
Hi everybody!
Hey everybody, how you doing?
Hi.
Hi. See you guys.